There it is, the final part, Outlast 2, the conclusion, the grand finale, whatever you like to call it. It's the Logic Lunacy. Let's get started with the last part of Outlast 2. No doubt we're going to see the twosome as well. We're going to see all three. This is definitely final.
Chapel! We can take shelter!
Really? All the places to end it? Wow, you really pick the most symbolic place to end it, don't you?
Keep moving!
Jesus!
Fuck! Storm's getting worse! Come on, Lynn! We have to get inside!
Okay. We're back. Here.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Shit,
so
shit,
that's the
shit.
door. That's what that back
You
door
need to lie
was.
down.
The locked one.
I
We're
can't
back
do
where
this!
the real guy is.
You can do this!
Oh god! Something's wrong.
Just keep breathing.
Feels like something's wrong.
It's been a fucking week, of course there's something wrong. Have you not acknowledged that?
It hurts too much.
I know, baby, I know. But you can do this, okay? Just keep breathing.
Oh, fuck! Fuck! Ah! Oh god! Oh god!
Keep breathing.
It's
Just
killing
push.
me! Ah!
Now kill it. Kill it before it's too late.
Lynn!
There's nothing there.
Oh, Jesus God. Lynn! Lynn! Lynn!
Oh, come on, it's not like you didn't see that coming. I'm not trying to be an insensitive twat, but
Lynn!
I saw that coming.
Lynn!
It's just a natural part of the sacrifice of giving birth to the Antichrist. They're always meant to die. Please kill it. All it is gonna cause you trouble.
So, Lynn said you haven't even kissed her yet.
What?
Like in Beauty and the Beast?
Oh, you mean drama. The play. We're saving for the, actual night.
Uh-huh.
We are.
Okay.
We, cheek kiss.
So, is she your girlfriend? Tell me, or else.
Or else what? Stop it, get off.
I got you again.
That's the child, isn't it? My God. We're taking care of my children. But
Ah, see, this is the famous guy of the portrait.
I am powerless again. The child's too strong already.
Mate, you got a dagger in your hand.
You
Stab it.
murdered paradise. God has gone silent. Since the storm, the birth. Who will he have if he destroys us all? Who will he perfect faith in that. And still, God is silent.
It's because you fucked up,
No,
man.
that's hard.
You very fucked up. You should
If
go
you
see
love
some.
anything at all, crush its skull under your heel. I know God doesn't hear dead men, but I expect he answers them.
Why did the guy feel the need to give us that compelling speech on the bench there just before murdering himself? He could have given it anyone. He didn't need to. Why am I still holding this thing? So this is what it looks like in day. I think this is going to be the rest of the game, you know, just sort of a walk out to the exit. I definitely think we finished it. That was a really good game though. I really enjoyed that. I'd probably even play it again sometime. Perhaps not on my channel though, but it's been brilliant. It's real atmospheric, a lot of tension at moments. You know, fair enough, it can be a little frustrating, but there's not too much harm, because that's kind of what I expected anyway. Perhaps we're gonna find a little more about the past before she died. Oh, right. We just literally just experienced this, didn't we? So this is what happens just before they start holding hands and shit.
Don't worry. I'll never let you go. You never let me go. Now the light has gone away. Savior, listen while I pray, begging thee to watch and keep, and send me quietly to sleep. Watchful Savior, wash away all I've been wrong today. Help me every day to be gentle, gentle, more like thee.
I'm just gonna say this, that baby isn't actually real. You see, at the very beginning of the game, Blake actually saw a white light that most people presumed was God. No, God's not in this game. That was actually the radio tower from the first game sending out signals and infecting people's minds. This triggered pretty much a past trauma of Blake's to, you know, re-emerge in his mind. That trauma, of course, was Jessica being hung by the priest at his school. Radio tower created those visions, causing Blake to black out over and over again, which explains why you're never seen in the same area. It did of course want to reveal that the really annoying teleporting demon that followed you around was actually the priest and Blake's interpretation of him. You can tell because he has the same wounds on his head. The radio tower of course wasn't the only link to Outlast 1. There is a note in Outlast 1 explaining that women were having phantom pregnancies. They believed they were pregnant when in reality they weren't. This links in with the ending you just saw, as Lynn's dying words was, "There's nothing there." Of course, at this point, Blake is too far gone. He is of course completely insane compared to Lynn. Of course, there was that big twist that I wanted to clear up. There is of course more story that doesn't revolve around Blake, but more around the rivalry between two factions. But I don't believe we need to get into that. I did of course want to review how I felt about the game as well, and though I definitely enjoyed it, my opinions on the game are rather a bit of a mixed bag. I feel the game started pretty well and then slowly got a bit worse as time progressed. The village, for example, was great. It set the tone for the game, with an interesting story and moments of tenseness. However, when you get towards the end of the game, it starts to endlessly throw crap at you in hopes that you will at least enjoy some of it. Which, admittedly, I found some of it interesting, like the Blood Rain, but I found it a little out of place with no build-up at the same time. Expanding on the point about the end of the game, they really tried to implement psychological horror, but to me, though it was interesting, it fell flat. An example was the blood coming out the toilet scene. Now, what was wrong with that was the blood in this game looks too watered down, and there was no point in the scene where you felt under threat. If they made it so out of the blood burst a teleporting demon creature that's been chasing you, I guarantee people that were actually more susceptible to being scared would have panicked at that scene. Of course, moving on, what made this game great was that while being chased, it wasn't too obvious where you were going. I've heard a lot of people say that was a bit annoying, but I disagree. Outlast 1's chase sequences, for example, were mostly too obvious. You could run faster than anything in the game, so there wasn't really a point where you felt it was too close to call, because it always felt like you were always meant to make it. In Outlast 2, when you can't tell where you're going and there's something chasing you, it causes the player to panic, and if you manage to make it, you feel like you did just by the skin of your teeth. Speaking of running, in Outlast 2, I don't think that being out of breath mechanic was implemented very well. Every time you went out of breath, it took way too long to recover your breath, so you always knew you were fucked and you were gonna die. Now, moving away from running, I wanted to talk a bit about stealth, or the way you traverse the environments. Of course, Outlast 2 definitely feels more open than the first game, therefore the developers did have to make it so that there were more creatures guarding the way. Though in the first half you felt like you had a bit of freedom to approach the game stealthily from multiple sections or areas. The forest, however, which appeared more open, felt more restricted in certain sections, as the developers had planned it so the player would have to take a set route to avoid any conflict. Now, this to a lot of players would have taken them out of the immersion, and it's also a good reason why I don't think horror games as a whole should have to be A to B paths. The problem I have with A to B type paths is that you start to feel like the world is revolving around the main character, rather than the main character being stuck in the world. This gives a little too much power to the player, and that's what takes them out of the immersion. Okay. Even though I considered 2 a better game overall, Outlast 1 did do some things better. I for one think the setting in 1 was more distinct, it had a lot more character and felt more realistic. 2's environments can be good, but to me each one of them didn't really blend well together, and it made it less believable than the first. Of course, the stealth sections in 1 were a lot better. Like, I actually felt like there were uses for the hide function, whereas 70% of the time in 2, you had to run as fast as you could, otherwise you'd die. I believe the reason why 2 is like that though is because when one person spots you, the whole town fucking knows where you are. So everything from every angle is chasing you, whereas 1 most of the time had one enemy at a time, so you felt like it was always possible to hide. Anyway, that's going to wrap up my review. I'll give the game about 7 out of 10. Like I said, it's a great game with many flaws. Anyway, enough is enough. Hope you enjoyed all parts of Outlast 2. If you did, please subscribe for more content similar to this. Anyway, this is Logic Lunacy, and I'm signing off.